Video 1, Module 3, Status Training. So, Module 3, and our third trait here for becoming a high status male, a badass high status male, is something I call high status direction. Okay, and we're going to talk about what that means in a second and what high status direction is. First, I want to talk about why it is so fucking paramount to your success as a high status male in this life, and maybe the next, if there's a next one. Why is it so valid? Why is it so paramount? Why is it so important? Having high status direction in your life, being on your path, it makes you naturally more indifferent, carefree, nonchalant to her, to other people, to other things, to other situations. Simply because none of them matter to you as much as your path and your direction of what you're doing. Because none of them matter as much as your path and your direction, your reality. They can't really affect you. Because this is so important. What's going on with her and what's going on with them and what's going on with that, none of it can really affect you. You can't help it but remain indifferent, carefree, nonchalant. All that stuff is just it's just superfluous. It's just whatever. Your path, that's what matters to you. And that's power, that indifference, that nonchalance, that carefreeness. You know how attractive that is to women. It's power, okay? Having high status direction supports your state control and your non-reactivity from Module 1 even further. Okay, now this is because you always have something bigger going on in your life than you're focused on. For example, if I'm talking to a girl and we're flirting, blah, 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 and then I leave her and I talk to another girl and then she sees me and then one of her friends comes up to me and she starts giving me some shit about how she thought I liked her and now I'm talking to this other girl. Shit like that, I don't care. I won't, I don't even have to think about state control or non-reactivity. What the fuck do I care? Okay, when I'm so busy trying to take my dating empire from 7 figures in revenue to 8 figures in revenue, I don't give a fuck about 2 random girls I just met at the bar. That shit, it can't matter to me. It just doesn't. It's so unimportant. It pales in comparison to the depth of passion I feel for my purpose and my path that shit simply cannot affect me. It just can't affect me. I'm just totally non-reactive. I'm not even trying to be non-reactive. I just am because it's so small in comparison to what it is I'm trying to do and the thousands of lives across the world that I'm trying to fucking influence and build up and change, okay? So it supports your state control and your non-reactivity even further. It communicates to the world and to everyone around you that you see yourself as that important, that you have this path and that high status, so other people will do it also, okay? Remember, the world will, for the most part, accept the judgment that you place on yourself as true. So if you tell the world that you suck, they're gonna go, yeah, you probably suck. But if you tell the world that you're fucking awesome, you really mean it, and they can feel it, they'll probably go, yeah, he's pretty fucking awesome, okay? Being on your path communicates this to everyone around you naturally because you believe so much in yourself that you can do whatever it is you set out to fucking do. High status. And remember, not only is this okay, but it's actually much, much better this way, okay? Because when you're on your path full bore, killing it, it gives everyone around you permission. Finally, gives them permission to be free and go after their path and their dream and their mission and do what it is that they want without guilt, okay? Because so many people in this world, we're gonna talk about this in a second, they know what they wanna do, they know what their mission is, they know what their dream is, but they won't fucking go after it with all the passion and power that they really have and the passion and power that they want to, simply because they feel bad. They think they're being selfish. They think that they're gonna ignore people or ignore relationships. When the truth is, at our core as human beings, it is our biological imperative to go after what it is that we want and just fucking go get it on that path. Okay? Not only is it very high status, but it's part of us. We need to. We'll talk about why in a second, but we need to be doing that. And when you're doing that full bore, you're not doing it for anyone else, you're doing it for you. Okay? When you're doing it for you, everyone around you sees that and they go, oh shit, you know what, he's doing it, I want to do it for myself too. And then they go on their path. And as they go on their path, because they're being challenged and they're going through it and they get stronger. They see challenges on their path, they get stronger, they become better people, you're becoming a better person, and all of a sudden everyone becomes better and they're chasing their dreams and they're getting what they want. I don't know why I'm so angry about this, but it's real, okay? This is real shit here. It's really important. Moving on. Being on your path, having that high status direction, not only is it it's a very masculine trait, okay? We know the feminine is just naturally going to be attracted to the masculine. So not only is it highly masculine, but it communicates that you don't need girls because you have girls. Now, this is a paradox for a lot of guys who are just starting out, but there's a great book I once read. The title of the book was The Trick to Getting Money is Having Some. And it sounds very paradoxical, but it's fact. It's a fact of the universe. And it's basically saying that you need to kind of basically change your internal state before the outer world changes. So if you wanted more money, you need to become a millionaire inside first before you become a millionaire outside. That's basically what it's saying. And it's no different with getting girls, okay? Being on your path and having high status direction communicates that you don't need girls because you have them, because you always have something more important than getting girls or meeting a girl, okay? High status guys always have something more important than getting girls to do. Because everything in their life is aligned towards their path. That's the most important thing. And paradoxically, okay, if you don't have girls now, you go, well, that sounds fucking stupid, okay? It's a counterintuitive notion that is a law of the universe. When you have things more important to do than getting girls, you don't need them, you get them. That's when you get them, okay? Perfect little example I can bite off a big piece of cake and kind of share with you here is a couple weeks ago, I was in Las Vegas at a pool party, okay? Now, I like to go to these pool parties because there's fun, there's hot girls around, I'm with my boys, like it's a good time, but I like to go to them to recharge. Like I work my ass off when I'm home in LA, like all I do is fucking work on my path, I fucking love it, but I go to Vegas, I want to recharge, I just want to let go and rage and have fun and dance and just like have a good time, so when I come back to LA, I feel really good and I feel recharged and I'm really like even clear on what it is that I'm doing. So when I go to these pool parties, all these guys are running around trying to approach all these different girls, and the girls talk to them for a second, and then the girls leave them, okay? Because it's, you know, at its core, it is a low status behavior to approach a girl, okay? It's high status for her to come to you. So when I'm at these parties, my boys, I'm not going around trying to talk to a bunch of different girls. I'm just raging. I'm there to rage because it has to do with my path. My path is, you know, I'm raging here and relaxing and recharging because I know it's going to feed me. So when I get back home, I'm even stronger in my path. That is my mindset. So when I go there, I'm just raging, I'm dancing, I'm not even trying to get girls. And what happens? For all these girls that all these other guys are approaching and the girls are kind of running away from them, I'm not even trying to get any of them, okay? I already have girls. I got tons of girls. I don't fucking need more girls. I'm raging. All the girls start coming to me, okay? All start coming up to me because I didn't need them. Because they're not, you know, I wasn't going off my path to get them. I was going further on my path. Even in Vegas at a pool party, I'm still on my path. I'm doing this so I can be stronger when I get home. And they feel that. And they come that. And they see that. They see I don't need them. And that brings them in, okay? Also, little side benefit, it inherently makes you have really sick game when you're talking to them because you know how to flirt. Like if you're here in status training, you've been through my other trainings, you already know how to flirt and you know how to playfully challenge girls and spark attraction and get all the things going. But when you guys are kind of like in deep rapport and you're just conversing and kind of connecting, you're qualifying, and you're just sharing stories and stuff, you're naturally, if you're on your path truly as a high status male, you're naturally going to be talking about your path and what it is you're working on right now and the latest things going on. And it's going to come off as crazy passionate because whatever your path is, we're going to talk about this in a second or maybe tomorrow, but you're really passionate about your path. Obviously, that's why it's your fucking path. So when you're talking about it with her, you don't need to think about what to talk about. You're sharing your fucking mission and you're so passionate about it and into it. And you're not even like trying to get anything from her. You're so like, it's more important than her. So you might be talking with her and you might like her, but the minute you spark up and you're like, oh shit, I'm talking about me building my dating business and how it's going and I'm helping all these fucking guys change their lives. It's fucking amazing. I got this success story the other day and this case study and this guy got this girl he's wanted for so long. Like I'm so fucking fired up about it that not only am I crazy passionate talking about my fucking ambition and my path, but I don't even want anything from her anymore because I'm even more caught up in my path. And what happens when you're fucking awesome and you don't even want her? She wants you bad, okay? She goes crazy. She never meets guys like that. It's really rare. It's really hot for her. It's awesome, okay? Moving forward, having high status direction makes being decisive really easy. We're gonna talk about decisiveness later in a future module, but you simply have to ask yourself, does this support my path or not? The answer is yes, boom, easy decision. The answer is no, boom, easy decision. Now, your purpose, your path, your direction, and your core, your true masculine core, okay, where everything stems from, they're all connected. If you are disconnected from your core, okay, if you're not on your path, you're disconnected from your core and you feel weak. Now, this empty feeling will not only undermine your erection in the world, but your erection with your woman too. Okay, that is straight from the line of David Deida, one of my favorite teachers. There's a book called The Way of the Superior Man. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend you pick it up. That is a straight quote from this book, okay? He says that if you're disconnected from your core and from your path, you'll feel weak. And this empty feeling will undermine not only your erection in the world, but with your woman also. When you are on your path and you have high status direction, you're fired up all the time. feel strong. You feel connected to your core. Your core comes off in every mannerism you do. I mean, why do you think I'm so fucking enthusiastic all the time? You think I'm like over here doing lines of cocaine? No, of course not. Doing exactly what I want to do in life, and that has me fired up all the time. It has me engaged all the time. And it's my default setting all the time. I can't help it anymore. It's just who I fucking am. Okay? And women feel that. That means when I'm meeting with a girl later tonight that I really like, I'm gonna fucking bring that same positivity, enthusiasm, and excitement and dominance into that. Because that's how I live my life all the time. That's how I feel about my path. Okay? When you have high status direction, you always have somewhere to be. You are a man in motion with purpose and direction. And a man in motion is inherently a man of high status, okay? A man in motion is inherently a man of high status. We're gonna talk about this in a second, just remember that a little bit, it's very important. A man on his path is alive because he's constantly working towards or with the thing he loves. It might challenge him, it might push him to the bitter edge, but he sees it through because he loves it, and that makes him feel alive. Women love to be around men who are alive and engaged and passionate. High status men embody all of these qualities all the time because they are on their path. This also makes you a stronger, more resilient human being because as you're on your path, it's not easy, okay? Your mission in life is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to challenge you, awaken you, and make you feel alive and engaged. And as you deal with those challenges and you see them through and you fucking overcome them, you get stronger every fucking day. As a side bonus, strong men, high status men, closely related. Now, when you're on your path also, that means you have a vision of where you're going. We're going to talk about vision later, but it means you have a vision of what you're working towards. You're not just on a path and you're not knowing where it's leading. You know exactly where it's fucking leading. And that direction, when you're speaking with her, when you're just expressing with her, connecting with her, telling her about what it is you love in life, it gives her a vision of your future and where you're going. Now, women are fortune tellers. Okay? They can see based on the high status signals they're getting and what they're hearing and the vision that you're kind of displaying for them, they can really clearly see where it is you're going to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And they always like the future of a man on his path. Okay, you want to know how to get a woman so she's like never even imagines being with another guy? It's describe your fucking vision to her 5 years from now and how amazing your life is going to be. And how ambitious you are and how focused you are and how you're on this path and you're not going to stop for anyone and you're going to fucking make it happen. This is going to happen there and this is going to happen. It's going to be so fucking amazing and freeing and exciting. Like, she sees that and she gets a vision of that in her head of what you're going to be 5 years from now. She doesn't want to see any other guy. She wants you. She wants to be there when that happens. Okay? And the only way that happens is when you have high status direction in your life. If you're not acting in alignment with your true path and purpose, you cannot stand as a high status male with true integrity to yourself because in some level you feel like you're not living your life out the way you should. Okay? And when you are, I'll just be the example right now, it's strong. You can feel that internal integrity. It can't be fucked with because I am on that path. Nothing else really matters. Okay? Now here's the big one. Last one and the big one. Simply always having something that will be more important than her, whether it's just you're seeing a lot of girls or it's a single monogamous relationship, always having something that will be more important than her, even when she fights you on it, gives you untold power, untold high status power. Also, her fighting you on it is just a test, by the way. She would actually hate it if you stayed home for the big battle while the rest of the boys went off to fight. This is one of my favorite examples is, in like all these, I guess specifically in like older movies, there's some Humphrey Bogart movies I'm thinking of right now, but where a man has to go off to fight some battle or some war in some other city, or he has to go off and protect his country or whatever it is. And there's that moment right before he leaves where he's with his woman and she's begging him to stay at home and he's like, no, I have to do this. What if in that moment he veered off his path and he's like, you know what, actually just, I don't want to fucking, I'll probably die over there. I don't want to fucking do that. And he's just like, fuck it, I'm staying. Boom, let's go have sex. And she gets all excited because he's staying home and they go and they have sex and they feel great. 24 hours later, you know what she's thinking to herself? This fucking loser. Loser stayed here for me, off his path, not protecting his country. All the other men are out there protecting us and he stayed at home because he's, whatever reason no, okay? Women do not want you, even when they fight you on it, to leave your path. They love that you will always have something more important than her. Not because she feels less important, but because she knows that she's always getting a high status man with the vision and direction and a path that she can feel safe walking out with him. What is it? What does it mean to have high status direction? What does it mean to be on your path specifically? Being on your path is knowing your true purpose. The one that when you visualize it, it makes you feel truly alive and engaged and lights that fire deep inside of you. You align everything in your life, from diet all the way to career, to it. Every habit, ritual, and action you make feeds you on your path. So I'll give you a couple examples right now. First one, I like to use myself as an example. I wouldn't be a dating coach with a really successful company if I wasn't fucking leading from the front, okay? This is what I do. So right now in my life, everything I do is aligned towards, as I told you, building my fucking dating empire, I'm just being honest with you here, from 7 figures in revenue to 8 figures in revenue. I want to expand that fucking big because I fucking love money, of course, but 2, you know how many fucking guys I'm gonna be able to influence and reach and the lives I'll be able to change when I hit that level, okay? That excites the fuck out of me. So everything in my life is aligned towards that. I wake up, I have all my rituals set up. I know exactly what I'm doing, everything's planned out. I know what food I'm putting in my body, so I'm clear as headed, so I have the most motivation, so I have the most energy. I know what I'm doing in the gym to build up certain muscles to reach a certain symmetrical ratio with my body. I know when I'm going to sleep. I'll even be fucking girls, okay? Talk about how real I'm being with you. I'll even be fucking girls, and I'll literally think to myself for a second, like, this is great. All this feminine energy I'm absorbing right now, that's gonna charge me up so when we're done, I can get back to work and fucking blow this shit up, okay? Everything is towards my path. What's gonna happen, it's gonna look something like this, okay? So I don't expect you to be as ridiculous about it as I am yet, but as you go further and further on your path day by day, start working towards your path. This is kind of like time over time. You know, you are gonna get closer and closer to your true purpose. Like we're gonna talk about how to find your true purpose probably tomorrow, but you might not know it right now, and that's fine, okay? That's totally okay. But you probably have an idea of it, and that means it's gonna be like here, right? It's gonna be further right. And then as you keep going, things are gonna get more and more aligned with it. You're gonna get better and better at being more aligned with your purpose and your path. It's gonna get more clear, and it's gonna keep getting tighter and tighter. Now, what's amazing about life is you'll never actually reach exactly on your path. Okay, there's no one in the world who's ever done it. There's not enough time in the world, and that's fine. That's kind of the challenge of being a man, is that we're close, but we're never there. But this is how it kind of works over time, okay? So, and again, whatever your path, your purpose is, your direction, it doesn't have to be building some massive empire, okay? That's me. That's my purpose right now. You know, for you, it could be anything. It could be becoming the greatest fantasy football player of all time. Okay, it could. What's important about it is the alignment and the commitment to your path. So that means if you're really intent on becoming the greatest fantasy football player of all time, that means you're fucking studying the statistics, the patterns. That means you're watching every game. You're keeping track of injuries. You're tapped into football players and the relationships they have with their wives or girlfriends right now, and how that could affect their play. Like, you're on top of your shit. You are aligned with that path and you are committed to it, okay? That's what it means to have high status direction. Now, generally speaking, most guys that women meet during the day, at the office, at the gym, at bars, on vacation, wherever the fuck it is, those guys have no direction. They go to their job, they go home, they watch TV, that's their life. They're okay with it. They let the world come to them. They let whatever the world's gonna give them, they just accept, okay? Now the difference is when she meets one of the 3 to 5% of men who have a clear high status direction, and everything they do is like geared towards it, it feels different for her, okay? She feels literally that erection in the world where you're penetrating the fucking world on your path, going after exactly what it is you want with clarity and power and status. And when she sees that and when she feels that, it signals to her brain instantly, high status male. She goes, holy shit, high status male. Now the final example, which is kind of small, but let's say you are a man on your path, okay? But you're kind of understanding what does it really mean to be totally aligned with that path. Say there's a girl that you like and you've talked to her a little bit. You guys maybe have hung out, but you text her and to hang out a couple days ago, she couldn't do it. And you're working on some big project right now for your path. Like, you're working on it and it's not like a huge deal, but you're into it, you're in flow, it feels good. And all of a sudden you get a text from her and she's like, hey, I'm free, like, what are you doing right now? Okay. Most guys in that situation give up all their power, they veer off their path, and they would instantly be like, oh, I'm available, let's hang out, let me try and have sex with you again or whatever. A high status male with high status direction he would ignore that text message. If I'm working and someone hits me up and she hits me up at that moment, I can't even respond right now. I'm on my path, okay? When I'm done, maybe I'll hit her up and say, I'm working on this. Sorry, I couldn't hang out today. Maybe next time. Okay. Now most guys, when they hear that, they go, "Oh shit!" But she gave me an opportunity, and I said I couldn't. Isn't that like? Does that mean I'll never see her? And the truth is the exact opposite. Okay. Any attractive woman, if she ever hits up a guy to hang out or to see him, and he can't, do you really think that she's okay with that? That she's gonna go home and be like, "Oh well, I guess I'll go with one of these other guys who are more available." It's not how the female brain works. Okay. She sees a guy in his path who's unavailable, who's scarce, which increases his value, significantly in his status. She will pursue that guy. Okay, women like to pursue guys. We are the pursuit. That's how it should be. So in that situation, she hits me up. I can't hang out. Okay, I don't step off my path to hang out with women. I stay on my path and I meet women along the way. This is actually a really good time for me to talk about this aside that I wrote down here. But how I meet women now in my life is I'm not going out during the day to pick up girls at the mall or at the promenade or all that shit, maybe, or even at bars just to meet girls. Like, I don't do that anymore. Not like I used to. Okay, I don't go off my path. What I found was when I was just going off my path just to fuck that girl and that girl and that girl, you know what happened was none of it was really satisfying. They weren't girls I was supposed to be with. Okay, it sounds so I guess Eastern or energetic. I don't want to like freak you out with some of this shit, but it's really true, really entirely quantifiable. And the truth is that as I've stayed totally focused on my path, the girls that I meet now are the ones that I come across on my path now. So that means, let's say I'm filming this today and I needed a new t-shirt, okay? So I gotta get a new shirt. Going to the store to buy a shirt is something to do with me being on my path, right? So I go there, now I'm at the clothing store, and there's a girl in there who might be cute, then I might go talk to her and I might go hit her up. But only the girls who I run into on my path. And I feel so much better, even in that moment when I go talk to her, because I know that I'm here not to meet girls off my path, but I'm strong with myself and I'm on my path even as I'm at the store, okay? Makes a huge difference even in your approach and how you're flirting with her and the energy that she picks up off of you. Also, the fact that I go to Vegas pool parties to recharge makes meeting girls pretty easy as well. So, one other side before we move a little bit further here is that you cannot let your family, okay, guilt you out of this. Okay? It is your purpose as a man on this world to discover your path and pursue it and align your life to it to the fullest. A lot of times, you might get guilt from family or close friends who say you don't make time for them and stuff like that. And truthfully, it's kind of fucked up, okay? Because what I want for you, what I want for my friends is for them to pursue their dreams to the fullest. I don't, if the choice is between them hanging out with me for a couple hours and grabbing a drink, or them pursuing their dream and becoming the happiest, strongest, most high status version of themselves, I want the second, okay? And I want that for myself as well. So you can't let your family guilt into this. You must stay committed and aligned to your core. If you want a little bit more on that philosophy specifically, I recommend you listen to a little bit of Jim Rohn, personal development guy, that a couple years ago. It's a badass, spelled R-O-H-N, Jim Rohn. Okay, so finally, before we get to the end of today's video, one last thing I want to talk about is specifically having a couple models for what it looks like to have a man who's truly aligned with his path, like really tightly on his path and his purpose. If you look at basically every movie that has a badass in it, or every TV show that has a badass in it, you'll never see that main badass character off their path, just kind of chilling. All right, you're never gonna see that. You'll never see it happen. The whole movie, the whole TV show, everything is solely showing them with direction on their path, okay? And the reason for that is because that's when you admire them most. That's when they are most high status to you. Think about Tony Stark in his cave building his suit. Everyone remembers Iron Man, beginning of that movie, he's in the cave, he's got these shitty materials, and he's working on this thing to make this fucking amazing suit in there. You never see him when he's taking a shit. You understand that, right? You never see him when he's just hanging out, reading a book, or talking shit with his friends. You see him building this fucking machine, drawing up shit, putting it together, lighting shit on fire, banging something with intense focus on his path. Because in that moment, his path was building this fucking amazing suit. And that's all they show you. And the reason for that is because they know when a man is on his path and a man is in motion, that is when he is most admirable. That is when he is at his highest status level. Think about Batman. Okay, remember Batman Begins? He's in the fucking mountains, like learning karate and shit. They don't show him chilling, taking a shit. They show him learning how to become fucking Batman. Think about 24. Think about Jack Bauer saving the world for 24 hours straight. They don't show him taking a break to eat a banana and get some carbs in him. They don't show him refueling with some Gatorade. They don't show him taking a shit. They show him on the move, in motion, on his path, all the time, saving the fucking world. A man in motion on his path is unbelievably attractive to a woman. Think about it. He's always on the go. He always has somewhere else to go. She always feels like she ends up chasing him because he's always the first to go. And it's like she can never fully have him. And consider what a fun, challenging, sexually arousing gift you become for her and every other woman you meet on your path when you live your life this way. There's a lot of information in that video. Really badass, if I can say so myself. I'm going to recommend you watch it again, at least once today. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to get on your path, how to discover it, some important truths that every man has to know deep in his heart about it, plus 3 specific exercises about discovering your path that I think are really going to be beneficial for you. Okay, they're really fucking awesome. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Again, some really heavy lifting today, so make sure you watch it again at least one more time. Get some rest, and motherfucker, you handsome devil, I'll see you tomorrow.